Breaking news tonight, the hunt is finally over. Onlookers erupt in cheers as authorities take the second suspect into custody, 4 days after the deadly bombings in Boston.
We are eternally grateful for the outcome here tonight.
Tonight, what's next as several questions remain unanswered.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Wendy Ryan.
And I'm Jamison Euler. The manhunt is finally over tonight. The Boston Marathon bombing suspect, 19-year-old Johar Tsarnaev, is now in custody, wounded but alive at a Boston area hospital. And with it, finally, peace of mind for all of Boston and the people affected by this tragedy. The news came just about 2 hours ago, and his capture did not come easy. Authorities found Johar hiding out in a boat parked in the backyard of a home in Watertown, Massachusetts. As police and federal agents closed in, he opened fire. Authorities fired back, but it's unclear if he was injured in that brief shootout. For hours, he stayed tucked away. Then, just before 9 o'clock tonight, Boston police tweeted the word captured, verifying that Johar was finally in custody. Just within the past 60 minutes, we learned that Johar was taken to a hospital in serious condition.
And now we want to show you a wonderful moment caught on camera just after authorities made the arrest. You can see police congratulating each other and shaking hands. Officials say the threat is finally over.
Today, the city of Boston, the city of Cambridge, and the city of Watertown, and many other communities can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that two perpetrators who caused so much pain and anguish are no longer a threat to our personal safety and to our communities.
President Obama addressed the nation tonight. He promised the victims and families hit by Monday's bombings that he will do everything possible to make sure that they get answers as to why this attack happened.
And so I've instructed the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security and our intelligence community to continue to deploy all the necessary resources to support the investigation, to collect intelligence, and to protect our citizens.
Also tonight, we've learned the FBI has also taken 3 people into custody for questioning in New Bedford, Massachusetts. The 2 males and a female are believed to be connected to Johar Tsarnaev. No word yet on what that connection might be. And late tonight, we learned the bombing suspect will not be read his Miranda rights because the government is invoking a public safety exception. So what's next? Well, sources say 19-year-old Johar Tsarnaev will be questioned by a special interrogation team for high-value suspects. The public safety exception permits law enforcement officials to engage in a limited and focused, unwarned interrogation of a suspect and allows the government to introduce the statement as evidence in court.
We want to help you put together all the pieces in this manhunt. First, the chaotic moments since the FBI released photos of the 2 suspects yesterday afternoon. That was at 5:10. Then at 10:20 last night, shots are fired on the campus of MIT in Cambridge, just outside of Boston. 10 minutes later, an officer was found shot multiple times and later died. Shortly afterward, 2 armed men reportedly carjacked a Mercedes SUV nearby. Police pursued the carjacked vehicle to Watertown. That's where the carjackers and police exchanged gunfire. A transit police officer was seriously injured, and so was one suspect, later identified as suspect number 1 in the marathon bombings, critically injured and later pronounced dead. Just before 6 a.m. today, authorities urged residents in Watertown and nearby communities to stay indoors. Mass transit shut down. Around 8:40 a.m., a law enforcement official confirms the name of the slain suspect is Tamerlan Tsarnaev, Johar Tsarnaev's older brother. Then around 6:30 tonight, gunfire broke out in Watertown. It was then that authorities found Johar Tsarnaev hiding out in a boat. And finally, after a standoff lasting more than 2 hours, authorities took Johar into custody.